सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Yesterday we started with Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Aishwaryasya samagrasya Viryasya Yashashaha Shriyaha Jnana Vairagyayoho cha Shannam Bhaga Itirina. The one who has these 6 qualities comprehensively, absolutely, such one is called Bhagavan. To such Bhagavan, the dative case, Bhagavate. Which kind of Bhagavan? Who is this Bhagavan that you are offering your salutations to? Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Unto that Bhagavan Rudra. There have been various commentators, primarily Bhagavan Shainacharya, then Abhinava Shankara, then we have in the Shiva Itihasa, there is this beautiful portion wherein Skandadeva, the son of Lord Shiva, he explains the Rudra Mahatmya and the glory of the Rudra Prashna to the sages and saints that were present there. So that is called the Skandadeva Prokta. So these are the primarily 3 main commentators that we find. Shainacharya's family is a very well known family. Swamiji, we are hearing his name for the first time and you call him well known. I see the quick glimpse into your eyes. His brother is the great Swami Vidyaranya. That Vidyaranya ji who has given us Vedanta Panchadashi, he was also the Shankaracharya, and he is the one who helped Harihara and Bukkaraya to establish the Vijayanagara empire. And his brother Shainacharya, I mean, the great works of Vidyaranya ji, just one I have mentioned, but there are so many more. And he has written books on economics, he has written books on architecture, he has written books on mathematics, physics, and yet he was a well-known renunciate. And his brother, his blessings to us all is that he has taken a mammoth task of painstakingly writing commentary for the entire Vedas. All 4 Vedas have been commented by Shainacharya ji. And there is one more commentator with equal relevance and with equal reverence is Bhatta Bhaskara Mishra. He was from the 10th century and he has commented on the entire Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda Shakha. And since this Rudram, it comes under the Krishna Yajurveda, his commentary on this can be found quite exhaustive. And his Sanskrit is in a very poetic order too. He dwells on various aspects which both Abhinava Shankaraji and Shayanacharyaji doesn't touch. He has dwelled on those topics as well. So, what we will be hearing would be from these various commentators. One is Shayanacharyaji, the second one is Abhinava Shankaraji, third one is Skanda Prokta from the Ishvara Itihasa or Shiva Itihasa, and the fourth one is Bhatta Bhaskara's Bhashya. So, gathering from all of them, the word Rudra has got various meanings that it can be interpreted into. Some of the main ones I have gathered them here. There is one particular Samhita wherein it is mentioned that Rudro Vai Pranaha. Rudra, as worshipped as the Marudganas, there were 49 of them, those Marudganas are the very prana. And the 5 main pranas that we worship are the 5 main categories into which these 49 are divided into. Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, when we offer the Naivedya to the Lord, we chant them. They are all the Marudganas. Of the Marudganas, it is the prana which is the most important one, the life breath. And that is considered as Bhagavan Rudra himself. So, this is just an introduction to the definition. So, from that perspective, Rodayati Sarvam Antakale iti Rudraha. One poet very beautifully puts it, Nishvase natu mama vishvasaha. Nishvase, the exhalation of breath. Natu mama vishvasaha. What to talk of the next moment? What to talk of the next day? He says, my breath that goes out, I don't have faith that it will come back. None of us have that. And when it does go, pranas leave. Sarvam akhilan bandhujanan. So, all those people who are around, antakale rodayati, because of the utkramana of that prana, of that Rudra Bhagavan who is as the prana, therefore he is called Rudra. So, there are 2 Ru or Rut and Dra. These are the 2 root words in which we find all these definitions come in. Rodayati sarvam antakale iti Rudraha. There is another meaning. Rik trayate mahataha bhayat iti api Rudraha. Rik meaning rogan ajnanam bhavarogam cha. Rik means rogam, various kinds of diseases. Ajnanam, ignorance of oneself. And then bhavarogam cha. Trayate, trayate, that who removes the fear of all of these, or removes the very ajnana, the very source of our bhavaroga, such one is called Rudra. Trayate dravayati, the one who removes it. Dra means to melt it down. Dravayati, melt it down. Such one is called Rudra. Hence, therefore, we worship that Rudra Bhagavan. Ruta samsarakyam dukkham tat dravayati apagamyati vinashayati iti api rudraha. Rut means samsarakyam dukkham. Everybody has got their own level of problems. At their own age, at their own maturity, they see different things as problems. Even a 4-year-old has its own problems. What are the problems? Whenever mom and dad have these get-togethers, I have to protect my toys. That's a big dukkha for that fellow at that age. For a 40-year-old, it will be a different kind of element, but it is still the cause of dukkha. Samsarakyam, in these various kinds of interactions, we have different layers of dukkha, and the one who trayate, dravayati, the one who melts all this samsara and its dukkha once and for all, therefore called Rudra. There is another beautiful meaning. Ruta, Shabda Rupa. Ruta means Shabda Rupa. Upanishad Rupancha. That which is the very essence of Upanishad. Tabihi druyate gamyate pratipadyate iti. That which takes us to that knowledge, that one who takes us to that core of knowledge called Upanishad. Druyate gamyate. It's as if holding by hand takes us closer to that knowledge. Such one is called Rudra. Therefore, this Rudra Prashna also has got another name called Rudra Upanishad. There is another Upanishad in the list of Upanishads called Neela Rudra. Neela Rudra is an Upanishad. But this Rudra Prashna also has got that status of Upanishad, like Bhagavad Gita, though it is an Itihasa. It comes in the history called Mahabharata. But yet we call it a Smriti Grantha, because it teaches the entire humanity do's and don'ts of about life and living. Therefore, it has gotten that special status of being called as a Smriti Grantha. Similarly, Rudra Prashna, because it is the very essence of that Shabda Rupa, it is the very essence of that Upanishad, Rut meaning the essence of Upanishad, and the one who takes us closer to it, Pratipadyate iti api Rudraha, the one who takes us step by step unto that knowledge within, which will dispel all the darkness. Sometimes when we do things wrong, our own guilt, our own wrongdoing hurts us, pains us, doesn't it? I have seen this. Mothers scold their children and then in secrecy cry. Doesn't it hurt us back? We may tell big dialogues in front of the kid. I am not a monster, I am a mother. So the kid must be thinking, monster mother. You scold them. Or whenever you do such things that carries that guilt heavily on us, it makes us cry. Law of nature works. Rodayati, the one who makes us cry when we do the wrong things. Saha api Rudraha, the one who makes us cry when we do wrong things. Whether we are conscious of that wrong thing or not, but we end up crying. That one who makes us cry is called Rudra. Then the other meaning is, Rut also means to shut or to close. Runadhi avrinoti iti rut. That which closes or that which shuts. Andhakaradi. Rut means andhakaradi, that which closes us, that which shuts us away from our own true identity and nature. And the word dra, tat dhrunati, vidarayati, iti rudraha. Dhr, to pierce, to shatter. See, once you learn Sanskritam and understand the root words, you can play around with it with such amazing beauty and depth added to it. All that you have to memorize is 2200 roots. Well, people do it, spelling bee 3000 words, don't they? Is it 3000 words minimum, right? Or maybe the entire dictionary, who knows? So 2200 root words, and you learn them with the meaning, we can definitely see each word with its different dimension and depth. So runadhi avrinoti andhakaradi iti rut. Tat dhrunati, dhrunati, the one which vidarayati, pierces it, that which cracks it open. Therefore, he is called Rudra, and therefore he is worship worthy. Why? Because each one of us are tightly bound in our andhakara of our own nature. And the one who releases it by piercing through it, cracking it open once and for all, breaking the shackles of the entire andhakara. And andhakara can be removed only with one method, by the light of knowledge. That ignorance can be removed. Therefore, the Rudra, having gotten the status of Rudropanishad as the very essence of knowledge, is quite appropriate. Then the next meaning is Ritya. The root word Rit is taken again. Pranava Rupaya Swatmanam Prayati iti Rudraha. Ritya, meaning that root word Rit can also mean the very essence of everything. And the essence of Vedas is Pranava. And Pranava being the very form of Bhagavan Shiva, Pranava Rupaya Swatmanam Prayati, with that chanting of Om, that which takes us closest to that Paramatma. Therefore, this is called Rudra, or he is referred to as Rudra. And then with the aspect of Ishwaratva to this entire universe, he is also referred to as Ritya Veda Rupaya Dharmadin Avalokayati Prapayati iti api Rudraha. Ritya, the word Rit, can also mean sound or words. See, the way it is defined even for crying is that, the word Ru or the letter Ru, when people cry, Ru, Ru, they cry, right? Shabdam karoti. Therefore, that word Rit can mean crying as well, as defined in the Sanskrit language. And when it's representing the sound, the actual sound is the Veda Rupa. So, Veda Rupaya Dharmadini Avalokayati, the one who in the form of Vedas establishes Dharma, and then enforces dharma, whether you believe in Vedas or not. You may not believe in the law of the land, but still the law is applicable. You may not have experienced electricity. There is nothing like electricity. Until when? Until you get the first divine experience. Right? Then you see the law of electricity function. Similarly, the entire world is run on the nature's laws. And the one who establishes them in the form of Rut, and the one who enforces it, prapayati, iti api Rudraha. So, with these various meanings that we will be referring to constantly, we invoke, when we say Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, we invoke the simplest one to remember always, Rik Trayate Mahataha Bhayat. Rik meaning the Roga, Ajnana, all these. Trayate, the one who destroys them. Therefore called Rudra. So I invoke that Rudra who will remove all the limitations around me, so that I recognize my true nature and firmly abide in it. To such Rudra Bhagavan is my namaskara and prostrations, salutations. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. This is just the first sentence. Now let us move to the mantra. Repeat after me. Om Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave Namaha Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyamuta Te Namaha Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyamuta Te Namaha. The first mantra is chanted. So the Rishi for this first mantra is Atreya Rishi, and the Chanda is in Anushtup Chandas. Devata is of course Sri Rudra Devata, and the Dhyana shloka of this particular mantra goes this way. Akarna krishte dhanushi jvalantim daivi mishum bhasvati sandadhanam dhyayen mahesham mahaniya vesham devyayutam yodha tanum yuvanam. Dhyayen mahesham. We meditate on that Mahesha, Lord Shiva. Akarna krishte dhanushi jvalanti. The one who is holding the dhanusha. He is not holding just the dhanusha, but the arrow with that dhanusha. And how is he holding it? Not like our Lakshmanji, that dhanush is in one hand and arrow is in one hand. He is ready for it. Who Lakshmanji is in the ready format. Like, if required, he can draw the string. But how is this Mahesha? He is holding the dhanush in his hand and Akarna krishte, with the arrow on the string being pulled all the way up to his ear. Meaning ready to release. He is just counting 10, 9, 8, 7 to launch. Akarna kriste dhanushim. And how is that dhanusha? Jwalantim, in a very radiant form. Daivi mishum bhaswati sandadhanam. And he has a very beautiful, adorable form. And then he is also Mahaniya Vesham. Mahaniya Vesham, looking adorable. Yodhatanum. Yodhatanum, he is in the form of a Yodha, like a warrior, ready to release his arrow. That arrow which is now aimed, marked and held with the tenacity, about to be left. That we will see in the mantra. He is ready with it. Such Mahesha is the Dhyana Murti of this particular mantra. To the question, at who? It can be any one of us or all of us. We will see that in the mantra. But this particular Dhyana mantra, along with the Nitya Karma, our Bhatta Bhaskara ji and Abhinav Shankar ji both claim that when this mantra is chanted 11,000 times, that it clears the individual of all the papa that we may have committed, not just in this life, but all in our earlier lives. बस 11,000 बार करना है, 11,000 times. The mantra along with the Dhyana shloka. And then it also gives you the mantra siddhi, that you can invoke that power of that mantra anytime. So that is the phala of that, of this mantra along with the Dhyana shloka. I just chanted it. Hey Ram. Thank you. So now getting to the mantra itself. Namaste. No, we chanted it. Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave Namaha. So first, Namaha Te. Te unto you. Salutations. That word Namaste is so beautiful. When we yesterday saw that namaskara, act of namaskara, wherein there is no individuality or the mind or ego involved, even the word namaste, when it is uttered, it shows the act, it shows unto whom it is being done, but there is no ahankara depicted in that word. Namahate. I am doing namaskara to you is not there. So when we do that namaste, it has that depth of act of complete selflessness. So with that complete selflessness, O Lord, prostrations unto you, salutations unto you, namaste. But हम कैसे हैं? We do namaste, पर कुछ नहीं समझते. We use that namaste to get across. We do the prostrations, salutations to anybody if it serves my purpose. That is called with hidden agenda. Namaste actually does not have any hidden agenda. O Lord, prostrations unto you. Namahate. Hey Rudra. Namaste Rudra. And what kind of Rudra? Manyave. Manyave, that who is in the form of Manyu. Manyu in a Krodha form. So when does the Lord get angry? When do you as mother or father get angry with your children? So a child comes to the father and says, Dad, if I don't do something, will you scold me? Beta, first time, you're not doing something wrong. Why would I scold you? Anyway, what did you not do? He said, I did not do the homework. When do you get angry on children? Is it that you are constantly angry with the children or on the children? No. When do you get angry? Whenever you think that it is deserving to be angry, whatever be the reason, there can be n number of reasons, you tend to get angry, right? Like in this class, when do I get angry? When your cell phone rings, then when your cell phone goes off, I go on. Because there are a lot of new people, I am mentioning it. Don't invoke my Rudra Rupa. Manyu Rupa. See, Bhagavan has got both forms. One form is called the Ghora Manyu Rupa, and he is called the Nigraha Bhagavan. Why does he take that Manyu Rupa? So that he can control and bring balance into that individual or into that environment. And the second one is called Aghora Rupa, the non-terrible form, which is Anugraha Rupa. And he is at the same time both Nigraha and Anugraha. So he is called Nigraha Anugraha Rupa. It would be wrong to interpret that Bhagavan Shiva is only Nigraha Rupa, that he is always in that terrible form. He is both. It depends on the individual approaching him. When we were with Gurudev, bless you if you have not seen his Rudra Rupa. Once, when he had all patience, all love, all compassion, he would give us the longest rope possible. Like the first time when I was given a task, a big task. The Gurudev was visiting just for one day, and I was the vice president of CHIC then, so I was the one present there. He said, you organize a college seminar. Go talk to all the principals and the deans and all universities, arrange for it. I am expecting you to gather at least 5,000 youth. Everything noted down, taken the instructions, worked on it in a big way, went contacted every single university or college that would have been there, arranged for everything, a big hall was booked. A slight mistake. I organized it the day after he was to leave from that place. While jotting down, I must have been in my lethargic mode or whatever. Instead of the 8th, I wrote it as 9th. And then I realized Gurudev was coming and the talk was next day. In those days, there were not that many, phone and such contact. So wrote a letter, we will discuss. That's the only thing. In my heart there was like an atom bomb ready to explode. I went there with all uneasiness and went there, did namaskar. So he looked, he didn't say a word. See, that is even more torturing. When you know somebody is worthy of being scolded and is not being scolded. So he looked, smiled, he said, cheer up. In 3.5 months' time, I am coming back. Go tell all of them whom you have announced it to that it has been postponed for 3.5. This time, note the date properly. Anugraha. And that is the long rope that he gives. And one day, somebody messed up his itinerary. Instead of, evening, he was told it was in the morning. He went, inaugurated that school, Chinmay Vidyalaya in Hyderabad. But everywhere in the newspaper and in the leaflets and everywhere it was said in the evening. So people started arriving in the evening. And one person went and asked, he said, I already inaugurated. Another person came in and again asked, 2-3 people, why are these people asking? Don't they know? So somebody said, Swamiji, it came in the newspaper that you are inaugurating it in the evening. He called that secretary that day. We were all sitting in the outside lawn. The moment we heard him shout at that secretary, we all ran away from that place. Everybody, there was not even a single being there around. Wish that you don't see that Rudra Rupa. That disciplining format. Nigraha Rupa. Nigraha, that which is taken to discipline and bring everything into balance. And you don't want to be facing that. And in the Dhyana shloka, how is he described? Akarana Krishte. That his arrow is drawn, aimed, ready to be released. So this devotee, this seeker, is praying to that Shiva, saying, hey Manyu, this Nigraha form of yours, Namahate, salutations. Uto, Utaha, and also, Te Ishavaha, salutations to your arrow as well. Namahate astu dhanvane, my salutations to your bow as well, the Dhanusha. Bahubhyam utate namaha, and the 2 arms which are holding both the arrow and the bow. My salutations to both Bahubhyam. Utate namaha. See, when we think of God, we are always trained that He is great, He is supreme, He is the absolute good. But then here He is being worshipped as the Manyu Rupa. Manyu Rupa, the Krodha Rupa. How can God turn to be bad? God cannot, how can God be both good and bad? In fact, He is neither good nor bad. Paramatma is neither good nor bad. He is essentially divine, beyond the realms of goodness and badness. That is why in our scriptures, we don't have God representing good and that which is bad as Satan or Satan. And there are other religions wherein we find that which is bad, that which is negative, that which is demonic in its nature, they call it Satan in Christianity, and in Islam they would call it Shaitan. Not much of a difference. The same word. Ibrahim becomes Abraham. Same difference. So Shaitan or Satan. But in Hindu scriptures we always say that Bhagavan is neither good nor bad. He is divine. Why does he appear good or bad? It depends on what you have done. That is why Adi Shankaracharya ji says, Vihitam avihitam va sarvametat kshamasva jaya jaya karunabdhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Because Lord, Vihitam, that which has been prescribed unto us to be done by us, we have not done that. Avihitam, that which has been prohibited, that which we ought not to do, we have committed that, we have done that. Sarvam etat kshamasva, doing what we were supposed to do, we have not done. Not doing what we are not supposed to do, doing not that which we are not supposed to do, that we have done. So each seeker knows from within कि कितने पानी में है, how deep we are into what we are doing. We may fool the entire world around. We may wear good kinds of robes, put on good makeup. That doesn't make one a sadhu purusha. It is these acts which make us that sadhu. And when we stand in front of that Lord who is Sarvagnya, Sarvantaryami, who has seen, who has known everything that I have done, He is one place wherein we cannot fool Him. So Lord, I am aware of all that what I have done, the sins of omissions and commissions. I am aware of it. I remember it. I mean, it's an evolved seeker. Because many times we don't even remember if we have done something wrong or not. In fact, we even justify, this is me, take it or leave it. This is how I am. And some people argue also, Swamiji, if I change myself, I will not be me anymore. बेटा आज नहीं, जब लगेगी ना तब याद करना, not today. Today you are boasting about that aspect of you which you are not ready to change. That day will soon come when you wish you had changed when you had time. And here is a seeker who has recognized that. And because he has that guilt of all those sins of omissions and commission, therefore he is saying, Bhagavan, we know your Rudra form, we know that Manu form of yours. Because once you get angry, whether it was killing that or destroying that Tripura, or whether various instances we have seen your Manu Rupa, especially when that Daksha Yaga was destroyed, we have seen your Manu Rupa. How Prachanda can it be? For all that adharmic way that I have lived my entire life or lives, I am ready to repent. I am ready to seek your forgiveness. That the arrow that which you have pulled, please don't release it yet. Give me one last opportunity to change for sure. Therefore I have come unto you, seeking that strength, seeking that courage, seeking that wisdom to change myself. I know you are angry with me because of what I have done, not that it is your nature to be angry. Therefore, I have come here. I have come here with that adhikara because I am ready for that change. Therefore, I am chanting this mantra unto you. See, unless that urge is felt within, the mantra adhikara is felt within, the mantra will not have the effect. So there was one king. He had the similar doubt. I don't know, how can mantra change depending on the adhikara? So he had a jester in his court. So he was discussing it with him. And the jester quickly turned to the guards and says, "Guards, arrest the king." The guards looked at this jester and then looked at the king and then looked away. The king, who got angry with him, "How dare you call my own guards to arrest me? Arrest this fellow!" So immediately the guards moved and they started binding him, tying him down. So the jester looked at the king and he said, "See, that is the adhikara. I also said the same thing, but they didn't even move an inch. You also said the same thing, but you had the adhikara to say so that it had its result." So when we chant this mantra, when we invoke this Rudra Bhagavan, it is with that utmost sincerity that we come unto his feet, seeking that forgiveness because we are ready for that repentance. Therefore, I recognize him as Manyu. Manyu is not like Ghora, it's not a terrible form. Roote hue. Though he has given us this beautiful opportunity of this human life, yet we have wasted this human life for trivialities. And when you give something very precious to your child, and not knowing how precious it is, the child was playing around with it and just threw it there and went. And when you come back home and see that thing, that precious thing being trivialized, do you even know what I have given to you? And that is a sore point, right? That is what we also rub it into them whenever we get an opportunity, that we slog day in and day out to provide all the beautiful environment that we want to provide for them. And they seem to be just wasting their time. So one fine day you lose it and they say, "Back then when we were growing up, we did not have any of this opportunity. Now that you have this opportunity, why are you wasting it?" That form of yours is the Manyu Rupa. Now you get the point. Why is it called Manyu? Not because it is his nature. It is because of what we have done. We have invoked that form in him. And the seeker has recognized it. Lord, in your Manyu form, in your Ghora form, there is no end to it. I recognize it. Please don't release that arrow. I have come here to repent. Please forgive me. Here, our Bhattabhaskara Mishraji, he gives a very beautiful interpretation. He says that the Shruti has already said, "Pranavo dhanuhu sharo hyatma paramatma tal lakshamuchyate." That the dhanush is the pranava omkara. And in Shiva Purana it is described that Bhagavan Shiva takes his bow. See, Vishwakarma, he creates three powerful bows. One of them is the Sharanga, which was given to Bhagavan Vishnu. That is why he is also known as Sharangadhara. The second one, he gave it to Indra, and it was called Gandiva, which temporarily Arjuna had used. Gandivam sramsate hastat vakchaiva paridahyate. Arjuna had used. And the third one was held by Bhagavan Shiva. Pashupati. Or it was also known as Kodanda, which was temporarily given to Bhagavan Ramji to fight. So he is holding that Dhanu, the most beautiful one. And the Shiva Purana says that Dhanu was made out of the very Omkar. Pranavo Dhanuhu. Omkara is that Dhanu. Sharaha, the arrow, is the Jiva. Atma is, or the Jivatma is the arrow. And what is the Laksha? Have you ever done this target practice of what you call darts? It's not that easy. It's not just about throwing it. You have to throw it in an angle, you have to throw it with a speed. It is not a game of the speed. It is more of a game of, the steadiness, that balance. It's an art. The Olympics, they have those shooting. If you look at them, what a beautiful art. Wherein they pick that arrow, they hold that, and then they aim for a long time. And once they have steadied their breath, and then they release it. Once released, what is the Laksha that it has to hit? That it has to pierce through and become one with the target. And the target is Paramatma. So this Jivatma has to merge into that, become one with that Paramatma. On this particular mantra, there was one great Swamiji called Maheshanandji. He used to live in Mount Abu. He gives a very beautiful explanation. He says, Bahubhyam, he means it is very clearly stated a dual case. Meaning both shoulders, both arms are in worship. What are these two arms representing? So he says, the right arm is the Guru and the left arm is the Sishya. Though externally what you see is the left arm held out. But if that Shara has to go Tanmayo Bhavet, if it has to go there and merge, becoming one with that target, exactly hitting it right in there. For this Shishya, the Guru is the one who is the actual strength behind. If that string is not drawn sufficiently, do you think this arrow can reach? In last junior chick camp, we had taken these kids, and one of the days we had the bow arrow shooting, what you call archery. So after the intense archery that they had gone through, they came and said, it is not that easy to shoot an arrow. Because the slight, you become little wobbly. That string which has been drawn can rip the skin on your side. You have to be careful. It has to have that firmness, that steadiness. The Sishya has to be that steady. And who is the strength behind that Shishya? Is the Guru that gives that strength. And what kind of Shishya? That Shishya who has been given the Diksha of reaching that self within. It is slight different. When we say Diksha, it is slight different from Siksha. Because in today's world, we focus on Siksha and not on Diksha. Because our intent, maybe from 2-3 generations ago, it has been constantly that the Siksha is also not learnt for the purpose of that education. It is so that you make a good living out of it. That is the only purpose. That is how we have been conditioned. That is how we condition the next generation as well. Study. If not, you will not be even fit to flip burgers. Meaning you need to do something more than flipping burgers in life. Achieve something. So the entire purpose of Siksha is for making a living. So, I mean, at least here kids have got a lot of scope. Back there when we were growing up, the scopes were carved. Either you become a engineer or a doctor. Even the education system had those two choices, MPC or BIPC. Either you take the math line or the biology line. Either this or that. That is when you are doing something worthwhile. And the cream of that, many of us sitting here, either we are doctors or we are engineers. Whether software, hardware, somewhere, right? You are an engineer, one way or the other. So the Siksha is given only to make a living out of it. Siksha teaches us to make a living, but Diksha gives the direction to that Siksha. Siksha without Diksha is aimless, and when you have an aimless shot, where will it go? Go anywhere. So in order to have that perfect aim, what is it that is required? The Shishya who is Dikshita, the one who is ready to take that direction wherein the seekerhood is born. That moment when the efforts turn within to find the purposefulness and the meaning in life, that is when it is a moment to celebrate. That is the true birth. The rest of the celebrations that we have, it is not actually a celebration. It very recently happened. Since then I am little cautious about talking about it. I was in Beaumont, Texas. And the first day that I was to talk, it had to do with some birth date and things like that. So I ended up commenting that, we celebrate these birthdays, that they are not meant for celebration, but it is meant for seeking blessings and guidance. That is the day when you recognize that one more year has passed by of this valuable time that we have. One more year has passed by. And when you are losing something that fast, Because days may look long, years go fast. Every new year, don't we comment, "Arey, saal abhi khatam bhi ho gaya." Don't we comment that? So the days are running by really fast. The age is going by. So it is not a day to celebrate. It is a day to do lot of vichara and chintana. Arey Baba, one more year has gone by. Have I done anything worthwhile? Have I achieved something in this worthwhile in this life? If you don't do that vichara, then it will be vikara in the life. When is it that can be really a celebration? When this seekerhood is born. And the funny thing is, that moment when that seekerhood is born, the urge to celebrate the birthday is gone. There is no more that urge to celebrate my living. It is now the urgency to steadfastly walk that path. So that inner direction, when that U-turn happens, see, whenever Gangaji turns to her own source, that place is recognized as Kashi. There are two Kashis, three Kashis actually. One is called Uttara Kashi, the second one is called Gupta Kashi, and the third one is called Banarasa or Varanasi Kashi. At all these three places you will find that Gangaji has turned towards her source. Therefore, it has become an illumining place of worship. Kasha means illumination. That time when the seeker turns within, when that individual turns within and the seeker is born, then the Diksha has been in effect. And once that Diksha, once that turning within happens, one understands the strength, power and blessings of that Guru who is constantly guiding them from within. Ishvaro Guruhu Atma iti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. Until that seekerhood is born, the teacher has to lead step by step to that point. Once that seekerhood is born, the externalities doesn't matter. That Guru now becomes one from within and guides you from within. Up until that point, we need that ushering. So with those two strong arms of Guru in the back and the Sishya who has now gotten that Diksha, takes the self with only one intent, to turn towards that God and merge to become one with that God. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet. In fact, there was this great master again. He goes to claim that, the Shastra, the Veda, they have been anadi. They have been eternal. Paramatma also has been eternal. He is also called anadi. Veda, Shastra, Paramatma, they have all been anadi. And we have, since various births, almost been anadi. Neither the Shastra nor Paramatma has come down to tell that, hey, turn within. And these are the methods, these are the processes with which you can turn within so that you can get out of this misery. So it is that Guru who teaches us by showing the futility of the externality and turning us within. So with that strength from that Guru and with that steadfastness and discipline of the Sishya, this arrow of the self merges into that Paramatma. That bow and arrow will become a blessing when we take that Bhagavan's Sharanagati. And the same bow and arrow, if we do not pay heed to this instruction, will torment us. Because he is both. He is both Nigraha and Anugraha. How do you want him to be towards you? That is a choice that you have to make. And the seeker here has clearly made that choice. Bhagavan, enough of Rodayati, enough of crying in this world. Now, Trayate, let me get beyond this misery. Therefore, I have come unto you. Don't release that. Let me release myself to become one with you. And our Bhatta Bhaskarji, he says that Manu form is because Sarvesham Vyasananam Moolam of all our jumping patterns in this world of worldliness is because of the Maya Shakti of Bhagavan. And here we are praying to that Manu as his form to pray to that Maya that please release us from this so that we can merge with that. A different set of meaning. Because I have tried enough to get past this with my human effort, I am not able to. It is only with your blessings that I can cross this threshold. Hence, therefore, bless me to cross. Thus the mantra Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha. Continuing, repeat after me. Yata Ishuhu Shivatama Shivam Babhuva Te Dhanuhu Shiva Sharavyaya Tavataya No Rudra Mrudaya Yata Isho Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanuhu Shiva Sharavyaya Tavataya No Rudra Mrudaya. Before going into the mantra, the Rishi of this particular mantra is again the Atreya Rishi, and the Chanda is again in the Anushtup Chandas. Devata is Shambhu, Shambhu Devata, the one who gives us peace. And what is the shloka? Dhyaye devam sasmitam syandhanastam devya sardham tejasa dipyamanam ishvishvasalad dutabhyam bhujabhyam shurakaram stuyamanam suraughaha. Dhyayet devam sasmitam syandhanastam. I meditate upon that Shambhu who is syandhanastam, who is riding on a chariot. And how is he? He is with a beautiful smile on his face. Sasmitam. Smita, smile. There is a girl and she used to be always serious, and her name was Smita. Hey, put a smile on your face to represent what your name says. Sasmitam, with a smile on his face. Devya Sardham Tejasa Deepyamanam. Devya Sa Ardham, with Parvati ji as his half of his being, Sardham. Tejasa Deepyamanam, this divine form is glowing in its utmost beauty. Ishuhu Ishvasala Dhutabhyam. In one hand he is holding the quiver, in the other hand he is holding the dhanush and the bow and the arrow. Bhujabhyam Shurakaram, and he looks like a man of valor, that radiating valor in his form. Such form, Stuyamanam Suraugaihi, even the Sura, even the Devatas worship and praise this beautiful form of Lord Shambhu. Now, why is he smiling? That we will see in the main mantra. And they say that Nirantara japat purascharana siddhi bhavet. That when for 12 days this is chanted continuously along with the nitya karma, such one, this gives the purascharana siddhi. Purascharana is when you repeat that particular mantra, how many ever syllables that they are, that many crores. So you get the mantra siddhi. Just by repeating this mantra along with this dhyana shloka, you get that kind of mantra siddhi. Now what do I do with that kind of mantra siddhi? It will only develop that strength within upasana shakti, so that you can quit this deha buddhi and develop that jnana vritti. Here when we talk about the mantra siddhis, it is not for any chamatkara, that I'll touch your head and then you will start floating, I'll do the and then you will start levitating. It is meant for the personal sadhaka's evolution. That mantra siddhi gives the shakti to the upasana, so that the deha buddhi can be removed once and for all. Without that mantra bala, without that upasana shakti, to quit the deha buddhi is almost impossible. So having said that, see, Bhagavan in his ghora and aghora form, he is both nyayakari as well as dayamaya. On one standpoint, he is the one who has to implement the nyaya, and while implementing nyaya, justice, you cannot be partial. Therefore, he seems to be in a Manyu form. There is a beautiful story that the Pandavas were attacked by Ashwathama to annihilate, to kill all the Pandavas. And the astra that he chose was Narayanastra. Now Bhagavan himself is Narayana. He says, I cannot do anything with this astra, because doing anything to this astra would invalidate the power of the astra. The same thing which even Hanumanji did when he was bound by the Brahmastra. He did not break that Brahmastra just not to invalidate Brahmaji's astra. They said, Bhagavan Krishna said, I cannot do anything, but I can suggest something. With your prayerful heart, pray unto that Narayana, and once he sees that sincerity, this astra cannot touch you or influence you. And all five of them pray, this Narayana astra goes back to Ashwathama, saying that I cannot hurt them or touch them or influence them. Similarly, the Bhagavan who has drawn that arrow to that individual who was leading a dharmic life, now recognizing that adharmic life, wanting to change, has come to repent, looking at that true seeker, he is now smiling, still drawing the arrow. But then how does the seeker see that drawn arrow now? He doesn't see it as threatening. He sees it as protecting that seeker. Therefore, for that transformation, Bhagavan is here said to be with a smile on his face. He must be really a great seeker. Just the stance of his holding the arrow was good enough for him to change his path. Hope we get that similar attitude of sincerity to change our lives and pattern. Ya tayishu shivatama shivam babhuvate danuhu. Ya ishuhute, this arrow of yours, shivatama babhuva, this word babhuva will be constantly reused. Ya ta ishuhu, ya te ishuhu, that arrow of yours, shivatama babhuva, babhuva, may it become shivatama shantatama. That arrow of yours is now quietened. It doesn't look threatening. Te dhanuhu api shivam babhuvaha. Your dhanush, the bow, also looks quietened. Ya sharavyate Shiva babhuvaha. Sharavya, therefore Shiva. Shiva here is used as an adjective, not as a noun. So that quiver of yours also seems to have been quietened. Tayanaha Rudra Mridaya. With that quietened Shantatama form, Naha, unto us, Hey Rudra Bhagavan, Mridaya, bless us to be happy, make us happy. To find that transformation within one mantra, wherein the seeker's sincerity is tested. Sincerely, when that seeker prays, the same arrow which was drawn to punish is now drawn to protect that seeker. Therefore, Shantatama. See, all gods that are there on our altar, every one of them holds the astra and shastra. Some of them multiple astra shastra. See, Durga Devi, she has 8 hands. One hand for Ashirvada, Abhaya. Rest of them are holding all kinds of astra shastra. Even Bhagavan Vishnu, Chaturbhuja Rupena Shanka Chakra Gada Padma. So Gurudev, he very beautifully says that Bhagavan first approach to change that seeker internally, it touches with the lotus, benign advice. The thick-skinned that we are, the touch doesn't work. Bhagavan then uses his wireless call. Shankha, it doesn't have wires, right? So he gives us a call through various well-wishers trying to guide us. Still we don't. Our own guru says do this, and then we don't listen. When the first guru is Mata and Pita, then comes the Acharya, we don't listen. Then comes the Gada Prayoga on the Gadha. And how does he use it? When troubles knock in, they don't come one, two, they rain. Therefore, Rudra, the one who makes us cry by giving us these troubles, so that we turn, at least in that troubled moment we cry out for help, saying, "O Lord, help me." Don't we? Many times we neglect even that. Then he uses his chakra. And what is the name of that chakra? Sudarshan. Bhagavan bhi chakkar chalate hain. He releases his Sudarshana chakra. And we are in that chakra as long as we don't get that Sudarshana. Until then, we revolve in this Janma Marana chakra, Bhavabandha chakra, Karma chakra, and then in the study group we discuss, is karma first or vasana first? Because cause and effect, right? So which is first? Neither of them are first. They are the products. What is before them is the ignorance of one's own self. Until we recognize that and we aim to remove that by creating that jnana vritti, Bhagavan seems like Manu. But once you turn your intent within to understand the very purposefulness of life, that very Bhagavan becomes the very protector. There is that famous bhajan that our kids also sing. Log कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं. People say that Bhagavan doesn't come. तुम सबरी की तरह बुलाते नहीं. Oh sorry, खिलाते नहीं. मीरा की तरह बुलाते नहीं. लोग कहते हैं कि भगवान खाते नहीं, तुम सबरी की तरह खिलाते नहीं. लोग कहते हैं कि भगवान तुम सोते नहीं, तुम मां यशोदा की तरह सुलाते नहीं. Bhagavan is available. Are we available? See, every temple as we enter, there is a bell, big one. And we are requested to ring that before we go in. The neo-intellectuals. Oh, sound pollution. Bewkoof. Ring it. Why? So that all our distractions are cut aside as we enter the Lord. We are not presumptuous and we are in front of the Lord, bearing ourselves in front of Him to repent and seek His blessings and forgiveness. And that when done, he says, Lord, I see now everything. See, that is the whole beauty. That those situations in life which we see as pestering us, once that devotee changes within, finds it as convenient steps to step on and grow closer to the Lord. That is the purpose of all these experiences. Why am I going through these things? Drop the why. You have a fact staring at your face. I am going through these things so that it helps me reach the Lord step by step. That transformation has to happen. That diksha has to be attained by every individual to gain that Paramatma. Then we see everything that is happening, not rubbing against us, but actually ushering us step by step towards Him. Therefore, he finds that this Rudra is not a threatening one, but it is the blessing one. And whenever this Namaha is offered, Yagno vai Namaha, even offering Namaskara is considered as Yagna. Whether you do it physically, by folding two hands, or Sashtanga Dandavat, or by offering that Ahankara into that Paramatma once and for all. That is the final Namaskara. Even that offering of that Namaskara is considered as Yagna. So when we do reach that Lord at His feet, at His altar, offer that Namaskara without the ego, in sincere demand of that blessings and forgiveness. See how it will strengthen. And because this has to be hammered in, that this entire Rudra Adhyayi, we find Namaha constantly being repeated. Now we take the third mantra. We chant the third mantra and we will see it tomorrow. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Ghora Apapakashini. You don't have a spelling mistake there or a misprint. I just split that word. Therefore, Taya Nastanuva Shantamaya Girishantabhichakashihi. We will see the meaning tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.